Hey, Don here. Okay, back with another live stream. Let me make sure it is working properly. There we go, sound. Hey, Don here.
All right.
Okay,
Hey,
back with
Don
another.
here.
Okay, back with another. Okay. Get off of that page. And yeah, I'll leave it up. Well, that'll show me that I'm live too, but it won't be using so many resources as that other one. Okay, and let's get over here on my camera. And I just thought of something. If I turn on my wireless mouse, I can use it to change scenes from over here where I got to get to the box here. It's I guess I need to stand up to do this anyway. Let me shove my chair back where it belongs. Stand up. Okay. Yeah. So, got something in the box. I've been needing it for a long time and finally broke down and got it. I found it on a good price and had good ratings. It is, guess what it is? I was going to tell you, but I'm going to make you guess this time. Okay. Knife's got a pretty new blade in it, but it's still, maybe it's not as new as I think. It cut through that cardboard real good when I got off track a little bit. I wasn't trying to cut the cardboard, so I guess it's pretty new. Anyway, do you guess yet? Oh, that's it. Tripod. I had a buddy let me borrow his for a year or two one time, years ago, back before digital video. I had a Sony BVP3, which was a $10,000, $12,000 camera when it was new, and I got it for $350 on an auction in the late 90s. It was new in the early 90s, I think. That's how fast this stuff goes down in price. It was a TV camera for television, for videotape recording. It was a good camera. I ended up selling it later, a few years later. Got $1,500 for it. Oh, I nearly, almost sent that off the table. Okay, so let's get it out. Yeah, I kind of wish I still had it, but because of the lens and the quality of the 750 lines of resolution. It was a tube camera. It was the older design. This is a Victiv VICTIV. I can't really read upside down very well. Yeah, and that's it. And it's a T72. I looked at a lot of quite a few videos and reviews and stuff, and I finally decided that one would be worth taking a risk on. You know how it is buying anything new anymore. Got a little bag that it comes in. It's pretty cool. If you're going to take it anywhere, it doesn't unzip all the way. I guess that's all right. Does it have more than one pocket? Doesn't look like it. It's got accessories that I think will end up being handy for me, I think. Supposed to. I'll go back on the website where I bought it. I bought it on Amazon, but you get this stuff all over. But I think I'll sit down now. I'm already getting lazy. Been working on setting up I haven't done a stream since March or May, and I'm working on getting everything set up, remembering how I do it since this afternoon sometime. It's 9:49. Yeah, 9:49 at night right now, and I was washing clothes too all day. Yeah, this is a phone holder. I have a phone to see how well it grips the phone. Well, that would be the way I would want to use it. See, it's got a 1/4 inch female there where you can screw it on the top of the tripod. Is it spring loaded or what? No? Yeah. Yeah, it's spring loaded. So it's got a kind of a little, I think for me, when I put something in something that's spring loaded, I like the spring on the bottom. Yeah, because then you can, oh, and you can still put something else on top of that. That's cool. It could be your backup camera. Hey, that's not bad if it doesn't. You know, some of them, they say these are terrible, the phones fall out and stuff. You know, they, I got it in there backwards from the way I'd probably want it, but, well, I guess no, that'd be fine. That is the way I would want it. Camera right there. This one, my phones, all of them, the battery, they still work, but great, but they still hold a charge, but the, I've got 3 of these Alcatel A845L phones. That's what I got first several years ago for making videos when I couldn't afford a camera. But, and they did well. They were only 2 meg, well, they're 2 megapixel video, I think it is, yeah. This one here is the 13 megapixel Sony sensors, they say, supposedly. I'm not going to take it apart. I looked at everything I could to see, you know, if it was really that. And anyway, it's they use software on the camera to bring it up to 4K, and it does look better when you set it on 4K than it does on any of the lower settings. So I was thinking, well, I'll just use it on 13 meg, you know, on the whatever one goes with the 13 megapixels, but it looked pretty grainy. And sometimes, depending on the light, like right now, this is a little bit of low light for this camera. It likes light, and it's a little bit grainy. There's a, oh, I forgot it came with a remote. I guess it only works with certain cameras. It's got, I don't see the second. It showed in there that there was 2 of these mounts. Oh, there's one already on it. So you get 2 of these, you know, quick change mounts, which is pretty cool. That tripod I was saying I borrowed to use with my professional camera from this guy, it was this kind of tripod, really, just an older one that was much more sturdy than this one. Hopefully is sturdy though. It supposedly is. So anyway, I put that on my camera, and I'll go ahead and I'll do that in this video and kind of try this tripod out. It has a little remote that well, I don't want to get into the remote right now. I'll get straight into some of the other stuff. But if it's a Bluetooth remote, if I remember right, and if your phone, you know, if your camera can be controlled, I'll have to look and see. I'll stick it under the deal here in a minute and see. If you're, you know, if you have a camera that works with that communication, which I think is Bluetooth, that it has, then you can use it. Okay, so let's kind of solve it. Well, let's stand it up. You see, it's it's interesting to me to look through manuals, you know, and watch people look through manuals before I buy something, but it also can get old pretty quick. And in order to do that, I'd have to do it under the thing here, Endoscope. That Endoscope is a real close-up camera. That's what I have it for. Okay, so this, I'll get it down on the floor here in a minute, but it'll the first opening up, there's a hook down there you can hang stuff on. I've seen a few like that, and you know, that's kind of a good idea, like hanging camera gear. I saw one picture with somebody that had all their camera gear in a bag hung from it. Quick access, plus it keeps it from turning over in the wind and stuff. So you're supposed to have it. Yeah, it's decent head. It's all right. Yeah, and see the one that I'm using up there, it is it's about a 10 or 12 inch tall tripod sitting on top of a tripod for a light, and it's very it's aluminum. It's well made. It's really old. It's from the 70s or 80s. It's not broke, but it turns over real easy. It gets really tall. I've got it up about 6 foot tall now. As long as I don't bump into it, it's fine. But if you bump it, or like I did, I had a wired mic plugged into the camera, and I walked too far and yanked it right down. And I've turned it over several times. And you have to think about, and the legs on it, depending on what kind of surface you're on, it will settle down, and the legs get narrower and narrower. Anyway, that's not with this. So I really did need one. Yeah, that's got, just enough resistance, but not too much. And you can tighten it down, though, wherever you want. That part works good. I showed that a minute ago. You can't see it. It's out of the picture. Okay, so let's, I wanted to show these clips before okay, it has clips so that you can see, and they're good size. The legs are. That was the thing I saw on some of the, this one is marked down to $34, we'll say. And I looked today, and it's already back up to $44. But when I got it like a week or two, well, just about, not even a week ago. Yeah, and the bottom legs, oh yeah, they're all right. I mean, they're smaller, of course, than the top ones, but they were saying in one that I almost bought, it was $29, and it had pretty good reviews. But some of the people that always look at the couple of the, good reviews, and then I look straight to the 1-star reviews and see what people had to say and the reasons why they don't like something. There's a handle on it. I already pick it up, carry it. Oh, and this, let's see. Yeah, I'll have to skid it down on the ground now because I can't show any more of it from where I'm at. So I moved my little table. I don't know. I didn't have this all in my plan that I realized. Well, I did, but I thought I knew I was going to. Anyway, I didn't think about this part right here. There. Table that does all that folding is pretty nice to have. Okay. And okay, now where are we? I'll just use this area because this area is open up just enough for me to do this. Okay. So let's just see how tall it gets. Pull them out. Yeah, that's nice. I learned this. There's a channel that I've been watching a lot the last several months called Marcus Picks. And he always likes to think up cheaper ways to do things, but without not too much trouble. He's not like building things and stuff, from scratch or anything, which is cool, but, it takes a lot of time to do that. Anyway, he's a rich guy, and he has very, very expensive cameras, but he likes to use lightweight. He loves lightweight, easy to use stuff, and so when he likes to take pictures of his girlfriend when they're traveling. They travel a lot, and let's see, it's already too tall. Let's just see how. Let me see how tall it gets. That's what I was saying I wanted to do, and see how sturdy it is when it's up high. Okay. I suppose if you let them drop, yeah, they will pretty well drop. You don't have to help them too much. I guess I can't do that way. It's running into everything. Okay. Ow! Gonna have to figure out how you're supposed to do this without banging yourself in the head. There we go. Yeah, I always walk under ladders too. Okay, so it's got a nice wide stance. I won't have to worry about this one turning over. The one thing about a regular tripod versus a trying to figure out how to set it so that I won't run into it. I want to show the stance with it all the way up. Let's try with this camera first. Okay, well, you can see that it is wider than widescreen. at that distance, so it's pretty wide. Can't really see that, but it's, well, I've got a measure tape over here. Let's see. Oh! Got a bag from my wireless mic on my 38 inches, center to center of the posts. So that's pretty good. And I've got another camera running the phone. One of the phones, I can show both of them maybe in a minute. Trying to figure out, well, yeah, I could do it whenever I change. Okay, so that's how tall it is. It's 70, they call it 72 inches, but it's like 71 point whatever, close to 72. Yeah, it will whittle a little, but it's no professional tripod, but I have used professional tripods for those kind of cameras that I had. I volunteered in some cable studio, local cables. It's called cable access. Cable in Texas, there was a law that cable TV studio businesses had to provide a local outlet, and so I got involved in a show. It was a Christian rock show, and we would show our local bands and stuff, and bands that came to town sometimes on that show, and interview them and stuff like that, and show a little bit of the concerts and stuff. But anyway, so I got to run a camera like mine. Well, that was before I got my camera that I had. Cameras like that, Sonys and Panasonics and JVCs, you know, on the nice big professional tripod. Now those are cool. It wasn't too big. It was like, some of them were things they're like something you could sit on and ride around on. You know, some of them are that big, but these were bigger than this, but not a whole lot. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so let's set the legs back down again. I don't remember which way I want to go now. This one is wobbling because I touched it. Yeah, that was kind of a better shot anyway. Okay, I'm going to go back down lower so that every time I get up and down in this chair, I hang this bag over there. Can't see it now anyway. It's I don't know what it's called. It's a camera bag that you wear on that you wear like a belt. That's what it is. My buddy that was a photographer, he was a still photographer. He gave it to me years ago. Finally found something to use it for. I didn't like wearing it around out in public. I thought they looked stupid. So now I wear it in almost all my videos. I tried using it for nails and stuff, and they just poke right through it and stick in the side of me. Okay, so he's got lots of things I hadn't noticed at first. Okay, so here we go. I see now what I need to do. Oh, well, yeah, let's go down a little lower. I was fixing to raise the camera, but I think, yeah, let's raise the camera. And, oh, and it's really hard to, there. Now quit moving. And that is, yeah, it's, the camera's setting there. It's not 6 foot, it's more like, see, I'm 5'11". It's about at my nose. So, and you can go higher on that other tripod over there, but you don't want to, because it will turn over or just shake it'll just shake, won't quit. Okay, now, you still can't see me, but I don't care. Alright, now, so here's the motion on it. Feels pretty good. I guess there's a little bit of resistance, but not too much. And that's with it completely loose. And of course, then you can turn the handle to lock it. Seems to lock okay. And luckily, I didn't have to worry about weight on that. Looks like that one was. Yeah, it doesn't lock completely. Now that's, yeah, it doesn't want to completely lock. The tilt up and down. Oh. Yeah, and I have fingers. I guess I'm beginning to get arthritis, so yeah, you don't want something that you have. It's a nice big knob, but that hurt when I really tightened it up. Yeah, that's about where I want to leave it anyway. I don't tighten them and loosen them a lot anyway. And this deal comes off real easy. Quick mount, put that on the camera. I'll actually do that here in a minute. Okay, now this one, there's a knob that you twist right there. Get up here and make sure. It seems awfully tight. Oh, there we go. Just, and see, you can turn your camera completely vertical or sideways, whatever you want to say. Well, that could be useful, especially for still shots. I wouldn't do it. I don't like doing that for video unless I have to. I get so aggravated when people take those sideways videos with their phone and then they use them like on TV and everything else. Somebody ought to teach people how to, you know, that'll stop it from tilting. I'll leave it, yeah, you kind of, it's got pretty good action when you leave it loose. And it has, how many? I thought it had 2 float levels, bubble levels. You can see it, yeah, right here. I can't, one problem with me is I can't see nothing. Well, it's in the bubble, sitting there just with the legs. The shortest, the tiniest legs are all the way up, and my floors are level enough, evidently. So that's a really handy thing. Of course, you got to realize something. Your tripod being level with the ground doesn't necessarily mean your shot's going to look straight. So, yeah, that's helpful, but always look at how your shot's framed. Oh, and don't just go by the level. When I first started learning this stuff, I made that mistake, and I haven't used that tripod my buddy let me use. I think it had a level on it. But what I'm wondering is where's the? Yeah. Okay, so there's yeah, it's got those foam pads on the side, so you know if you're out in the outside and this thing gets hot, just make sure you grab it on them. You won't get burnt. It's got this thing that you could pick it up with, or I think that might be more for hanging it somewhere. That's what I think that'd be good for, because it's got a real good handle here for picking it up and carrying it. Oh, and that reminds me, right here, this little knob, loosen that up and you can go all the way out. And if you want to, stop here. So if you're going to use it, they're saying don't go any higher than that, which is pretty much where I would have done it just by, you know. So you get another 12 inches. You get another 12 inches on top of that 72 inches. I forgot about that a minute ago. And there's that level. Okay, so but you can also, it's also a monopod, which I don't know if I would want that or not, but I might. So trying to see what that is. That little it's not a level. And just part of that where it says that line there, it says stop here. Yeah, you can't see it very good, but I'm actually too close to that camera. You have to be about that far or further from that camera for it to work. There's my phones, you can get closer on them than you can on that. But this, when you turn that, yeah, one click. Oh, okay, it's just a couple of clicks. It's rubber. And look at that. And how do you make it stay? Oh, I guess you turn it again. Tightens it up. There's your monopod. So that's pretty cool. It's not very tall as a monopod, but I guess it would be just fine. Especially with my camera, it's got a flipping view side, screen that'll flip almost well, you got to flip. It's pretty well 360 degrees, but of course you go so far, and then you stop and you go back. But yeah, and then it kind of clicks when you loosen it up. It has 3 clicks, and then you tighten it up. That's all it's got. I can hear it up in the head. There's something that it screws into. That is really cool. I like that. Like I said, I don't know how much I'll use that to get out of it, but I like that. So I'm kind of looking at it going, where would I want? Yeah, you would want to kind of use it like that or so. Yeah, tighten that one up enough so that you're turning the head, not the rod. But I'm just put it where I think it'll be comfortable to me. Alright, now let's shove those legs back. Yeah, and that's something I started telling about Marcus Picks. He's the one in his videos. He showed that he really liked these kind of deals because they're much easier. And then it kind of hit me. I thought, yeah, that other one had those kind you twist. Sometimes you end up fighting them like crazy to get them to the part you want to twist and get it, you know, just get the legs up and down. So that's really cool. They lock in good, but they're just, you know, that's it. Yeah, they start locking right there. There we go. And got real good motion on the opening and close. Okay, yeah, just give it a little tug right there with one hand. Just don't leave your fingers in there. It gives you time to get them out. Okay, now I'm going to switch cameras. And camera 1. Alright. Now, maybe we'll be able to see. I'm going to see if I can turn that a little bit. There's no point in a constant view of how dusty it is at the bottom of my desk over there. Oh, it's still in the picture. We can't have that. Now, is it gone? Yeah. Okay, well, you can see some other stuff instead of that. I'll be happy. All right. Now, yeah, let's go ahead and put the other camera on there and test it out, and then the little accessories, I'll play with them after that. All right, now let's move this. Now this one is the one that I've been using for quite a while now, and I've got my endoscope tangled up in it. I've got it wrapped around it. This wire is very stiff here, and you can stick it. Well, it's not so. I mean, you can't. I don't think you could. You'd have a hard time sticking the entire length. It's about 15-20 foot long of the endoscope that I'm trying to get out of here. Sticking it all the way down a pipe or something, but could easily go probably, you know, 2 to 5 feet and be able to control it pretty well. But it's kind of, it's very handy, but it's the cable's unwieldy, you know. And yeah, there we go. Just trying to make sure I don't get hooked up in it again. All right, now this tripod, you can see that I have the legs kind of. This other camera is not. This other, this phone over here is on a guitar stand. Got it hooked there. I can see I can't do anything but twist it sideways and stuff. I can't go, you know, up and down. Well, I can, but it's hard to do. So so anyway, that is what I was talking about. You can go as far as like that, but it won't stay. It'll stay like that. Now I tried clamping right here, and it wasn't a good idea because this is so soft that I put a pair of vice grips on it, and I tried to make sure I didn't do them too tight. But now this rod doesn't want to go. It gets hung at a certain point, right where I grabbed it, I'm sure. But most of the time I keep it like that and keep it. There's one good thing, I don't have a lot of room in here in my room, and up at my desk, and so it'll set like that. But you can't have the camera that high, it'll turn over, but you can have it on down lower, like this. I usually keep it about like that. It's still too high to see the camera. Let's see what that does. There we go. Now, oh, I can raise, yeah. So let's put it over here. I don't want to end up turning it over doing all this. I can turn that thing, and the camera, you can raise it up like that, the way I have it mounted. Where is this thing? I put all this stuff here where this is set, and now it's in the way. I'm in the way. Oh, I was turning the wrong tripod. I was turning the endoscope. I couldn't figure out why I wasn't getting what I was expecting. There we go. Yeah, I'm not sure. I guess I need to bring it out some more. Yeah, let's just do that. Okay. I'll just move this a little more. And there we go. Now you can see it. That was what I was wanting to do. This is the camera that I'm kind of my main camera now. I try to use it whenever I can because it's got higher resolution. And this is a little 10 or 12 inch tripod. Let's see how long those legs are on that thing. Yeah, 10 inch. But it's got another couple inches, so yeah, it's basically 11 or to the bottom of the camera. So this, will turn whichever way you need to. And this is a cheap camera. It was $109, and then, well, I haven't seen them that low ever again. They went up to like $139, $149, but the ones that are just like it. This exact camera, it was said no longer available on Amazon, and I haven't seen it again. But let's see. So what I wanted to do was show swapping them over. So, there we go. Oh, I forgot about that. Now you see this cable here? That's the USB cable, which is sending my video to my computer. How am I going to do that? Oh, I can cut those. Well, since this is going to be my new tripod, I'll have to cut those. I have the it was okay for a while, and I think I had some rubber bands. Yeah, I had some rubber bands keeping this safety loop in there, but that didn't work for very long, and then this got watered out, and it would connect and disconnect, so I hot glued it in there. So it doesn't come out anymore. I mean, it could. Actually, if you hot glue anything and you want it back out, use alcohol. Regular old rubbing alcohol will dissolve it, and you can get it off real easy without a whole bunch of cutting everything up with your with your knife or whatever. But I don't want to turn that off. I got to make sure I don't turn it off, or I lose it, and I'd have to shut down the stream to get it going again. Be careful. Okay, so I hadn't thought about how tricky that could be when I was making my evil plan in my head there about what I was going to do. I'm getting me a pair of wire cutters to cut this thing. I think these little bitty ones will do. Or do I need the bigger ones? No, those have got kind of a, yeah, I think I need the bigger ones. I remember they're pretty hard to squeeze. Even on those, zip ties, little bitty zip ties. So I have another pair in here that I think will be better. this is my computer toolbox. It's got my computer stuff. Where's the other pair? Are they not in here? I do not see them. So way down there. I thought I had a pair in here. Maybe I decided I'd rather have them out in the garage or something. Evidently I did. You never know where you're going to need the, if you got a tool that you only got one of, you never know for sure where you're going to need it. This should work okay though. Alright, so I can snip this, and it is hot glued like I said, so it should do fine when I'm transferring over to the other tripod. But I'm going to just snip. Oh, that cut so easy. That was funny. Okay. I guess you just gotta make sure you don't cut the cable. That's the one thing. There we go. Alright, now. And I do probably have a couple of those. I'm going to have to do that again. I hadn't thought about that. Because you still need that. This cable gets yanked on all the time by accident, or sometimes I trip over it. I don't think I've ever actually turned the whole camera over that way, but I would not be surprised if I did do that. Tripped over it and turned this whole thing over. I don't remember doing that, but that don't mean a heck of a lot. Okay, so yeah, this one, it has no, well, now it doesn't have bushings. It's just holes drilled in aluminum. It is aluminum. It's sturdy, but you can't get it to quit doing that. You just barely touch it. This one, it's okay, but it's loose there. It's tight there, and I've worked on it tried to make it better. And I just noticed that I could set it on top of here and fold up the legs and that's a hair tie thing, a ponytail holder that's holding it. And trying to hold onto this camera and not turn it off. Okay, so this one, not going to do any handheld, so don't worry. That would be terrible. My hand in there. Okay, now unclip this. Take it out. Take it out. There, it wasn't all the way unclipped. Oh, it's got a spring. You have to hold it. Oh, it doesn't stay. Okay. Got to pay attention to which way. Oh, the camera. Yeah, there's a peg to tell you which way. Okay, good. Oh, and you got to flip up the little wing nut. There we go. That's pretty handy. See, and I imagine, I haven't thought about how to do it yet, but I'm pretty sure I'll be able to figure out a way to, this thing, I think this thing is square. I think you can put it on there either way. Let's see. 1 3/4. Oh, 1 3/4. Yeah, so you can put it on there either way. I thought it was oblong. It is a little hard to get. Oh, it'll move some, even though you've got it in the, I can see that I've got it in there. Yeah, it's the pegs in the hole. It only goes so far. I do not know. Check 1, 2. How long my sound has been gone. And I forgot to look. I was so involved with what I was doing. I completely forgot to look. Dang it. So, well, maybe you were spared my ramblings. Okay, let's see if I can make it a little. Yep, it is plenty wide. That's good. Actually, with the legs, sticking out, wider like that, it gives you more leverage when you go to pick it up. That other one, well, the other one, it's got the one rod. It's got short legs with the rod in the center, so that's easy to move too. Except for you start walking, you better fold those legs up. You're gonna hang them on everything. Now this one, you saw how wide the legs are. Now what did I say? They're 38 inches. You're not going to. You're not going to carry that around the house much, or wherever. If there's stuff around, you're going to have trouble. But, yeah, I like that. It looks cool, too, because it looks like a real tripod. And, of course, you could use the monopod, but, of course, when you do that, you can't ever let go of it unless you wedge it up against something or something like that. You could do that. As a matter of fact, I could mount something on my desk, like a piece of PVC pipe, a piece of regular pipe, in that spot where I usually put it right there, and slide that monopod through it, and then I wouldn't have any legs whatsoever to deal with. That might be something to do. I've got some pieces of pipe. I bet I've got one that's almost just right to slip over that monopod, and it looks cool. It looks like a real camera now. I've always thought it was such a jinky looking camera. That tripod I was using was part of the look, but the look that I didn't like. And I've got right now I have the screen on it turned towards me so I can see how to frame a shot from that. I can't see any details, but because I just don't see that good. But used to see. Well, I've always been farsighted, and I used to could see real far away, and I could see good up close as well. But now, now that I'm older, these are just magnifying glasses, and I don't wear them when I'm walking around because they make everything weird. But when I need to see something, or if I'm on the computer, I always wear them. But okay, see, is there anything else I want to show about that? That's cool. I like it. I watched a lot of videos, and all they ever do is just unfold them and flip them around and do this and that, and that's cool. But the number one thing you want to know is how well does your mount work for the camera, and how's the pan and tilt and everything. So that's why I did all that. Okay, so so there is one other thing I want to do, and it doesn't matter what went. It doesn't look like there's anything wrong. See that's the Bluetooth receiver, and I'm using an app called Bluetooth Mic on my phone to send it to that, and it plugs into my mixer. You can plug it into wherever you want, and this is a sender or a receiver, not both at the same time. But I like it, but there's just one thing I don't. Well, when I first, I used it for about a week out in the garage working on the dryer. Yeah, probably was a week, 3 days, a week. And it never gave me trouble. It never quit on me. But I figured out one thing. It puts a lot of files on your phone. I had 890-something megabytes. And I only have like 900 megabytes maybe on the, free space on the phone, on the onboard ROM. So it would lock up and stuff. And I didn't think about it. Finally, I realized I better check my cache in the phone, and sure enough, that's what it was. Now maybe it didn't do that. I ran this thing for it was plugged straight into the camera at that time, but I ran it for, it shouldn't make any difference, of how much his cache stays on the phone. And I cleaned it up before I started, actually twice. It had 890 something. I cleaned that off and I ran it. for a while setting things up, like a couple of 3 hours, and it actually only had like 15 megabyte, but I went ahead and cleaned it up anyway. And I can't. There's really not any settings, just on, off, and stuff, you know, on the app. Couldn't find any place to like set the cache and tell it to delete the cache or whatever. There's an app that I use called All-in-One Toolbox that will do stuff like that, but I was using that with my cameras because they'll fill up after so many, 5 hours or so, the cache in them, and make them quit working. But if you, and I was setting it to like clean the cache every 30 minutes, keep the phones from filling up. But when I'm live, what I'm doing with, I didn't say that camera is streaming with an app called IP Webcam. It streams over the Wi-Fi. And that's also how I used to do my audio. But once I got recently in the last year, I guess now, got this Bluetooth deal, and I thought, hey, I could use that maybe to plug into my, because I wanted to go through my mixer. Well, I want to go through as my V-amp with a compressor, noise gate, and some vocal effects. And I wanted to do that. And it works. You can tell that it's not all that dissimilar to the SM58 in sound now. And I can't believe it, because these are just, it's just dual lapels. They're not stereo, they're still mono, but they were $25, I think that was $20, $19.99 or something I paid for them. And they do sound better. I have a single lapel that it's got like an intermittent, you know, disconnect in the cable, and they do sound better than it. I don't know if they're better mics or because they're all, you know, just, I think I paid $10 for that one. I used it for several years. And SM58, if you don't know, is the industry standard. I still consider it the industry standard for live sound. I used to mix sound for bands, and this is a Shure SM58 that I'm talking on right now. But no mic's going to sound fantastic without a little. You need. Number one thing you need is compression, so that you don't distort everything, especially when you're going into a computer. Digital sound is very hard to set up that way. I mixed, you know, with analog gear back in the 80s and 90s, and then the other thing is a noise gate. That'll cut. I'm just always amazed. Well, SM58 is good about blocking out background noise, but so that makes it even better. You've got noise, like well, sometimes jets fly over and it's so loud to me, but it's not that bad on the mic, on the SM58 anyway. And you know, things outside, like say if on a nice day I might have the window open while I'm doing a video. And, so anyway, I'm going off track. So what I'm wanting to do now is see how I want to do this. Move this. I got all kinds of junk out and put it over here. I'm going to turn that off before I end up messing something up. Wireless mouse. I'm going to move this. Yeah, I didn't really show that whole guitar stand. It's kind of hilarious, but it does work. Oh, I'm moving. That's the one thing. I was on the wireless for however long I was on it, and you don't have to worry about where you are. And so I'm getting now. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and get this lapel mic and see if I can find a way to, yeah, there we go. Set it up, not lapel mic, endoscope, so I can show the things that I want to show. And I used to have something that I could set there that doesn't look so bad. Like my keyboard trace so wore out, it looks terrible. Okay. Oh, you know what's good? Paper towels as good as anything. Okay, I'm gonna go get the instructions first. And be back. I like doing live streams because you don't have to. I figured out over the years I'm never going to edit my videos, so live streams are you don't have to upload them or edit anything. You're just, when you're done, you're done. So I like that. So I'm going to go ahead and just get on the endoscope and start with the. Trying to have this. Well, I'm going. There we go. Got to have room to put stuff under it. So I've been wanting to see what this says anyway. Hopefully it's not going to do that forever. Let me go off of it and back on it and see if it gets better. It's been a while, but it's crazy. The USB and Wi-Fi. Usually the Wi-Fi. Well, you know what? I have more trouble out of that endoscope. It's cheap too, but it's been fantastic for what I paid for it. I paid $10 for it. That's my price. $10. I'll take it. All right. So it froze up. I might have wiggled. If you disconnect it, I might have wiggled the cable by accident. Oh, it's just so behind. Now that shouldn't have anything to do with the. I've got one camera on Wi-Fi and two on USB, and I have been running the camera 4. That's the highest resolution for quite a while. But I think it might be back. Let's see. Well, it is very far behind, but if I just put it down and leave it, maybe it'll be all right. It's not going to be, is it? For an endoscope. So this is both of them together. But yeah, it's not doing good. The thing, you never know when it's going to act up. It usually does really well. But camera 1. Okay, I can use it. It's not much good to use, so let's try it, I guess. It's just kind of aimed off. Well, I guess that's where I had. Oh, I moved it all around. That's why it's like that. Okay, but this is not going to show. You better watch out. This could actually this thing does have that camera. My camera does use a remote. But this is like a key fob looking remote. I don't know how. I haven't read anything about how to use it. I was going to open up this little quick start. Looks like a quick start guide. And the endoscope started acting up. Yeah, that's a frozen picture. It's gone haywire. Let's make sure it didn't just. Oh no, it's still kind of working. Okay, I was looking at the settings on it. Oh, I think that could mess it up. Yeah, it's just really, really behind. I don't know why it's doing that. I'm running a HP DL380 G7 server with 64 gig of RAM, an 8 gigabyte video card that I added to it, and 2 6-core processors. So I got 24 cores to use, and it shouldn't do this. USB shouldn't, 2.0 shouldn't do this to it. I think it's the device. Really, it's got to be the device. I mean, come on. And it doesn't give me trouble. I mean, it's the most powerful thing I've ever had. You know. Oh, there it is. Yeah, see, it's just so far behind that it's not usable. So I'm going to go back to the. The phone camera is better at doing close-ups, but it's 2 megapixels, so you couldn't read any of this. And the I might as well I'll just leave it sitting there. It might decide to work in a minute. Who knows? I'll look at this and see what it says. Okay, for iOS and Android, Samsung, so-and-so, iPhone, Huawei, Xomi, or however you say it, Oppo, never heard of, Vivo, I didn't know that was a camera brand. So that's the only one. Oh, there's a few more, yeah. Mate, X Max. But let's see. Oh, here's the. I'm talking about this remote key fob thing. That's what I'm looking at here. Okay. Oh, it's BL version 4.0. I guess that's Bluetooth. Transmit frequency 2.4 gigahertz to 2.4835. 30 feet, 10 meters, 30 feet. Battery life. Oh, you got to put a CR 2032 in it. 8 months. Underworking in 10 times a day. Okay. Dimension. Okay, weight. Yeah, you got to open the back of it and put a battery in it. Probably doesn't have one. I've got some, but I'm not going to do that now. I just wanted to know what it's supposed to do. Oh, it tells you how to pair it. I have a remote for my camera, so I doubt I would want to use this thing on this camera. I just remember that. Oh, it's so that you can. What? Uh-oh. That's my alarm to tell me to get my clothes out of the dryer. I'll do it in a little minute. Okay, turn on the shutter by switching on/off button. AB shutter 3 will enter into pairing mode. I don't need to read all this, do I? I guess it will pair with a phone as well. Yeah, I guess it would Bluetooth. I have a remote that will work on my phone that came with my VR headset thing, which I can't look at. It makes me want to throw up. But, well, actually the mount, where's that mount? Oh, it's in this bag here. It's holding my phone that's in that bag. Just the slide-in mount part of it, because it keep it from breaking off the mic cable. It's got an adapter about that long altogether that you have to have sticking out of the end of the phone to get this mic to work on my phone. Use the camera app to take photos. Via AB shutter. Download an app for camera. Keyword search in Google Play App Store, Camera 360. So you can use it to control the phone. And I gather maybe they were really talking about phones. Maybe that's all it was. Yeah, there's pictures on it of phones on a tripod. So that's only for, why didn't I see that? You were hollering it at me, weren't you? All right, so that's just for phones, which might be useful. But the other remote that I have that does work on my phones, I think maybe it only works on, I'm trying to find the bag it came in. Well, I'll put all that up later. I think it only works with the app. No, it'll work for any app. And it works different, the different buttons do different things in different apps. It'll work for any camera app that'll work with a remote. I used it some, but it was too tricky to remember what buttons to hit and everything. And usually I just turn the phone on, turn the camera on and record. I don't do a lot of snapshots anymore. Can't get this open. Well, that's okay. That's just a spare mount, which I think I could figure out a way. Oh yeah, I could. Like that one right there that I showed a while ago. It has a wooden handle. This thing's too close to show it, but over here behind me there's a clothes tree that it split, and it wouldn't stay on there anymore. And so it was a nice looking handle. I thought, well, I'll make a selfie stick out of it. and I just put a longer screw in it and went down into the new wood, and it was good to go. So it's been on there for a long time, but yeah, I could screw that. I could screw this to the bottom to the. It's a. I didn't finish saying when I was showing my rubber bands and everything earlier. That's a giant paper clip. It'll open up to about an inch of stuff. You could put in it. Anyway, it was something I actually bought by accident. I didn't realize I was getting such big ones, and I've never really used them for paper, but they're pretty handy for other things. They make good chip clips, but well, I bought some different ones for chip clips that were kind of nice looking and seemed like they would do better than these. Well, I didn't have any more of these left. I have 3 of them now, and I have one for this camera, one for the other camera, other phone. I think one of these phones, I think this is the one I used to have in one on this tripod here. Now this will be handy, this phone thing. There's a lot of times when you really might want to, yeah, that'll hold. It's pretty decent. So if I put that, there is a mount on top of that camera, another 1/4-inch mount, and it's called a cold shoe. Doesn't have a hot shoe. Hot shoes were for a flash. Of course, it's not a still camera. I mean, you can take stills with it, but anyway, I could set this, up on top of the camera, and then it would be a backup view of everything that I'm doing. And I may start doing that. Usually, I want 2 different angles is the thing, though. But see, I have 3 of these. I have these 2, that one there, this one here, and the one in my bag here was doing my sound. But I'm really aggravated about that. I thought I had that figured out of why the Bluetooth had started quitting on me in the middle of my video. I thought it's because I needed to clean the cache. Well, I guess I'll see. It may have filled it up already, but I don't see why it would, because I haven't been going as long now as I did earlier today. And I had it running just because I was just setting up. I wasn't even, it doesn't matter if you're talking about it, it's going to stream the same amount of data, Anyway, yeah, I was going to show this thing with my endoscope, show this stuff with my endoscope. It's still showing the last thing it saw. Just locked up. Do you think I need to get better gear? Maybe I need to quit trying to use the cheapest stuff in the world. I just can't see paying minimum $350, really $600-700 for, Well, actually, I don't want a DSLR anymore. I have learned that they just don't do one thing. Like this little, I learned, I kind of knew it, but, I never have owned a camcorder before. I've owned that professional camera, but I haven't owned a camcorder. But I never even thought about, cameras overheating if you're outside, even inside sometimes, and shutting down. And I never realized until last year or so that they actually make these DSLRs to only record 20-30 minutes. What the heck, dude? What good is that? I'm a long-form videographer. I do live streams forever. So, thank you. I was going to see if there's anything on this thing here that might be T72 Tripod Manual. Enjoy life more. Well, I hope it makes my life better. That'd be nice. Okay. I think it will a little bit. I think it'll be I really do think it'll be much more pleasurable to use for making videos. And I hadn't even thought about it. I mean, it just dawned on me. I was wondering, so how am I going to, you could fold the legs up some. I need it to be about that high, maybe a little lower. But I usually I don't have any place. We saw earlier how my desk is set up. I don't have a place to get the camera in there, even on a short tripod or anything. Maybe at some point I will there's a shelf that my big TV's sitting on, and maybe I'll put another one below it to where I could set a short tripod on it and have the camera right between the two TVs. It'd be bugging the heck out of me though. I just that mono eye looking at me all the time. But that would be a better view than this side view and everything. Normally I have it right over here, so it's kind of an angle, not a complete. But the legs, let's see if I can do it before I mess around with this part anymore. Legs on the tripod are definitely going to be, spread out in the way. Okay, I'm going to have to move the mic. Okay, so gotta get this. It's not even working, so it doesn't deserve a place in that presence. Alright, move this stuff. Yes. Kind of not sure what it is. I'm sure I'm doing. I mean, that's the point of that tripod, is to have a stiff cable so you can stick it in for input, down to pipes or whatever. I haven't really used it for that yet. I bought it to look into my engine of my car. Okay, where is? Yeah. There we go. Okay, so here's the little place where I generally been setting that other tripod. It'll go in there like this, and it'll go in there about. That's where I usually keep it, and I can turn on the camera whenever I want. I don't always keep it there because it's a pain, but if I move it back over in another place, then I have to unplug the cable. Well, I've got like a 15 or 20 foot cable for it to go to the computer. My server is in the closet behind me. Guess I mentioned that before. The server that I'm running here, that's where it is. So, yeah, that stuff will be used a few years. So, the legs of the tripod. I don't think it would stand up good. I can do some things. Some of them I probably wouldn't even want to. Yeah, see, that is no go. I couldn't get in and out of my chair. It's dirty, but and I can get this to like it's a little high. I can bring it all the way down if I need to. But the legs, if I start, yeah, it's already wanting to turn over. They're still in the way. That's one reason why I hadn't bought a tripod all these years, because they do have a quite large footprint. But I just got tired of it. That, of course, I can adjust those legs to the way I would want them. So that would be good. It has to be where I can get in and out without turning everything over. Oops. Have it really. I think right there I might be able to do that. Yeah, I can get in and out with it like that, and the legs are kind of wobbly. No, I don't. I've got it touching my other. That's a keyboard tray on the rack. There's all that stuff is sitting on. And right now it's a bit too high. So let's just adjust this. I would actually probably adjust the legs so that I think that's all right. Yeah, you want to tighten that one good so that it doesn't spin. Yeah, it's got got a little bit of fluid type movement. I don't think it's a fluid head at all. I don't think it even claims to be. But I wasn't looking at my big tree. Just looking at the little one. I got to where I'll turn that away from you because I always forget. Somehow you want your shot to be somewhat decent. Still a little high, but I can. I don't like it. This is okay, but I would be banging into it, getting out of the chair. I can see that. So I wouldn't leave it there all the time. Yeah, if you just leave it there, then you can just turn on the camera. But then it's kind of going to be in the way. But that other one would sit, and I'd have it about so far from the keyboard tray, and I could, when I eat, I'll bring a big short, not lap disc, but it's got fold-up legs and it's for eating on, whatever. I bring one of those in here, and first I have to set it down over there on that tray, get in the chair, and then pick it up. Because if I try to sit down with it in my hands, I'll spill it then off of it. So, yeah, so that's basically how I've been doing. It's got the camera quite a bit closer to me, because used to you could see all of this mixer, and well, I might have it. No, I usually have it exactly right where it is. Right there, I kind of go by the corner of my chair. It really looks crooked. Now there's an example. The tripod I know is probably fairly level. I can't see the level on it without getting up. But look how crooked the door frame looks. Now, I don't like that. It looks wonky. I'm straight, though. But what I get out of that other tripod is the door frame looks pretty straight. So, and I know it hasn't gotten out of whack. I mean, there's really not anything there's not an adjustment like that. The legs, unless the legs were off. I kind of wondered, I guess I'm going to have to get up out of my chair. I got to see if that lever was showing up. I can't get up and down. There. I've got two different. Oh, my black shirt. I've got two different. Yeah, it's like pretty much. I can't get straight over. It's a little off to one side, just a little. About a little more than it was a while ago. Might be a cable under that leg. Well, this is carpet, and that's not very heavy. So, it's not going to sit perfect. Now, I have another video I wanted to make. I've started something, and I thought, well, I really need to get some video of that. Taking apart a tablet to look to see what kind of battery. It won't run unless it's plugged in. I think the battery's going bad. So it's popped open and waiting, and I'm spending forever doing this. Okay. I want to glance over that and tell you about what's in the manual here. This says, thank you. There's the name of the brand right there at the bottom. Join the club. Extended 5-year warranty. Only for VIP members. You probably got to pay to join that club. Bet you anything. Yeah, I got everything that I can remember that it said I was supposed to get, and it works as advertised, except for, but it's not, hasn't been bothering me, how the camera can move without do that much without the head moving. But then again, that might actually be a little, might actually work like the rubber bands if it did fall over, depending on how it landed, of course. Give a little shock. I would probably, the best thing I could think of was either some sandpaper. Well, that'd be always rubbing off on you. Actually, one of the best things. I've got to where I save these things. All this junk mail. Different textures of cards and stuff. Like that one might be a little. Well, that's that printing's kind of raised up. Something to give it a little friction. You might be able to pop a hole in that, set that on there, and then you'd be able to tack it down. Don't use your voter registration cards. And these that are kind of covered in plastic, they're really good shims for when you're building, when you're low on the level of your bathroom sink or something. There's a bunch of them under my bathroom sink. Stuff like that. I didn't know they were mixed in with these voter registration cards. I have always just kept them on the desk for years. And end up throwing those things. So I usually, when I get a bunch of them, I put them out in the garage somewhere. In a box or something. Oh, shoot. How long has that been off? I am not with it. Okay, well, I think that's just talking about this warranty that I'll bet you money. Well, I won't bet you money, but I got a feeling that is a paid extended warranty with a bunch of BS saying what it is. Join the club, because it didn't say free. You know, when something's free, they put it in big letters everywhere. Free, 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 free. And word free was not on that I saw. Okay, yeah, I already knew how to run this tripod from my research before I bought it. I watched videos about it. That's how come I knew they had a monopod built into it. I mean, I read the and I read the descriptions and everything. But yeah, this is just how to operate, which I already knew and figured out as I went. Don't exceed the capacity. These are notes. Don't use it below 40 degrees Fahrenheit. What? Oh, negative 40 Fahrenheit. Negative 40 C. Those are not the same. I don't, yeah, and you know, people on the internet are always, they always talk about centigrade, Celsius. Which one is it? I'm born and raised in America, so Fahrenheit's what we use, and it's the only thing that makes any sense to me. So anyway, I can't tell you in my head. Above 212 degrees Fahrenheit. Yeah, but I do know that negative 40 Fahrenheit is way colder than negative 40 C. Because yeah, I remember one of my videos, guys I like to watch about servers, Morton, he's always talking about, it's 30 degrees, it's so hot, and he's talking about C, 40 degrees C. 80 degrees is hot to me. 77.7 in here right now, and I've been getting hot. But like all this week, it's been 100 or around 100 every day. So a lot, way wide difference in the way they, indicate those measurements. Okay, 2 years limited warranty coverage. Yeah, so you got a 2-year warranty, and then you don't see that too often on stuff anymore. 2 years is a pretty good warranty, especially for something like a tripod. It is, yeah, it's aluminum. It's not plastic legs. The triangle thing, the little raised and lower triangle, it's probably plastic. you know, it's a mix of plastic and aluminum, but the legs are aluminum. So, of course, aluminum can be, you know, all metals can be made well or made like crap. So, and it is made in China. So, but they even have their different. They have their pot metal, you know, just scraps melted in pot metal. What I grew up learning what called it. And I worked. My second job was in a machine shop with a foundry. I poured aluminum and brass, so you know I understand it somewhat. Anyway, like to get a high quality aluminum, you have to put a certain alloy in it, a certain amount of a certain alloy. I don't remember which one it was in this one, but we were making yard tables, and they were round and decorated. They were about a 1/4 inch thick, about that big around, and had legs that were about 3/4 by an inch, and they were 2.5 foot tall or so. And we'd pour them, and then there was somebody else in there that would weld them together and make it into a table. And I don't remember what. And the brass parts I poured were poured in sand molds. Well, these were not sand mold, aluminum. But anyway, you know, when I was how old was I? 16, 17. When I worked there. Didn't work there real long, but first job was in a regular machine shop, and then I went from there to there, and then I went back to the first machine shop, and then I took off and got married. When I was 18, I took off and got married and moved away from here for quite a few years, for 3 or 4 years. So anyway, okay. So I've already went over all that. There is one thing that I think is cool. Oh, yeah. All right. I mean, I'm just going, how long have I been going? Hour and 32 minutes. Oh, that's nothing. I mean, there's no sense in going really, really long, like 5 hours, but I've done it 3, 4, 5 hours, lots of time. Trying to think of where I want to do this. Yeah, I think I will move the. I have to be by the microphone. I think I'll stay right here. Okay, so what do I want? Do I have what I need to do it? I think I do, except for my tools are way over there. I will need a screwdriver. I'm going to bring my little table back over this way so that I can so that I'll have my tools handy. I can sit down now and do my thing that I was planning. Oh, I keep forgetting about not having. I've got the wireless mic on. I should just, since this wasn't working, I may as well shut it off. I'm gonna take it off because it's just filling up the. Yeah, so, sorry, I keep forgetting. I'm wearing my wireless mic all this time, and I think that's part of the reason why I forget. I think I'm on the wireless, but I'm not. But see, here's my little double lapels, and I put a little. That's another little paper clip that I use. I clip it on the belt of this bag. I thought I'd go ahead and show it to you. The bag. So I have to kind of work around my microphone. And I'm kind of close here, so that's not blurring me. I started to say, is it blurring me? I'm so close. But see, I have one of the phones, and this is part of a 3D VR, not 3D, VR headset. Phone's in there, and it might have went to sleep. Could have been why it quit. Yeah, I didn't open this up and look. Let's see if the app's still running. Nope, the app shut down. That's what killed my audio. And from what I remember, I should have tested it to see. From what I remember, if you minimize the app, then it quits. It goes to sleep after a while. Most apps, you can minimize them that I've been using, like IP webcam and stuff to stream video and all that. You can minimize the app and see what probably happened is I pressed on the bag, I kept running into the bag and all that stuff and hanging it on stuff. It pressed on the screen and shut the app down. Probably hit the little back button, because that's all you'd have to do is hit the back button. Yep, app is not running. I don't believe it. Let's see if I can. It's hard to control. You can't get to everything with these hair bands on there that hold it. Let's see. Yeah, the mic's not on, so the app was shut down. It's still connected to Bluetooth, but the recording just got turned off, and the app got shut down because it would have been in the window if the app was still running. So I'm pretty sure that, and these phones with the swollen batteries, and I'm using these hair things to hold them together, you can press anywhere, and like if you squeeze it right here, it's liable to do something. Squeeze it, yeah, it's doing crazy things on the screen. So that's what happened. I paid $15 each for these phones, and I found some brand new batteries for them. They're probably new old stock is the thing that worries me, though. They're probably just as old as these batteries, just haven't been being used, so how good are they going to be? That's what I'm thinking. Anyway, and actually I think they may have gone up to $16 by now. I found them 2, 3, 4 years ago when they first started swelling. But 75% power. I had it full when I started. But yeah, I don't want to fool around with this, but I'm going to go ahead and shut it down. But it was working so well for me, but that's what happened. And the phones were swelled when I first started using them. Well, when it worked really, really well for up to like 12 hours one day of camera and audio constantly running, that was plugged straight into the camera. So it's not so. I thought it was going to, the thing that I like about plugging it into, it gets the effects. It makes it sound almost like the SM58. But you can plug it straight into the camera, 3.5 millimeter jack on the camera. But, it's not near as good as sound. And I don't do that. Like, I don't think I can even do that to the computer. Well, you know what? I may not, because I did do some testing to see if I could get the computer recognizes the audio and the video off through this USB cable. I don't remember, either I didn't get it turned on to working, or maybe I was just trying to do it at the same time as my, my analog input. Well, it's a USB sound card that I'm using on the server. It doesn't have a sound card. So anyway, it might have been that I know one time I tried you know how the USB, I can run that endoscope. It's going through a USB hub, a 3.0 hub, but the server has 2.0. So, that's all it's going to do. Usually it works good and doesn't lock up like that unless I accidentally bang the cable or something and make it disconnect for a second, you know. Well, I moved no, that was the endoscope. Okay, so anyway, I must be getting tired. I'm going in circles. What was I going to do? Okay, I remember. I want to get this. Getting this camera that's on the yeah, I probably won't. Well, I don't really like using this. It's just pretty wonky. These are some bread, not bread twisties, but coffee twisties, coffee bag twisties, and you can take them loose, and then this is the part that would hold the neck of the guitar right here, and you can fold it up and get the camera to tilt up more, because the thing, the way it naturally sits is at quite a lean, you know, quite a bit like that. So anyway, but I can take this. I guess I just need to do that in order to. See, I'm going to take this out of this thing. Put this right here. Keyboard out of the way. Okay. I noticed the start and stop button on OBS Studio is gray. They're both grayed out, and I noticed it when I turned it on, but I don't remember. They must have came with an update or something. I don't remember doing that. So anyway, all right. So here's what I was talking about. So I can adjust it up and down, and so I set it up one day to use it. Oh, I see. Oh no. I have to have the power cable, so I'm going to have to cut those. That's fine. I was thinking I could just unscrew this screw, and then I'd be able to hook it up to the camera holder. That was my thoughts. But and leave this on here, but the cable is zip tied onto the. Kind of hate to take it down because I'm pretty sure I'm going to need to keep using it. I have a mic stand that I used to use. That's what I used to use for my cameras. But it had 5 legs on it, and it's down to 3. So it won't stand up unless it's leaning against something. That's when I robbed that light stand from the light that I had. You know, I used it in the garage all the time. Okay, so yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to get out my little cutters again. My neck gets tired real quick, and I always use that pillow, and I did it without even thinking about it, but I'm gonna keep using it. Okay, so yeah, see, it didn't really want to cut that one too well. But it did it. That was what I was remembering. There we go. You really got to push hard to cut that bigger one. Guess it was the little ones. But yeah, I'm kind of into this new tripod, so I want to see what it'll do. Okay, so yeah, this is how I originally had this set up. Oh. What did you say? I made something come up on the screen. Oh, to use live, it went away now. I don't know if I made it quit. The camera quit's what I was worried about. I don't know if I need to use it right now. Oh yeah, I was going to use it. Okay. I want to get out of that. Yeah. Uh-oh. I think I killed the camera when I did that. No, I didn't. Well, I did too. It went back to the beginning of the app, and I'm going to go ahead and restart the app. It may pick up an OBS, but it may not. You never know about that with this thing. Yeah, all these rubber bands make it really hard to hit the right spot on the screen. Okay, it's back to going. Yeah, now with now I usually don't, because I usually don't mess around with the cameras, but I can you know, just minimize it, and it'll still be recording, still be streaming. Let's see if it's still streaming. Well, let's see if it's going to work at all, because yeah, it's working. Sometimes you don't get lucky and it won't do that. So it's but yeah, that's my little selfie stick that I made several years ago now. But I think I have to monitor. I think I'm filming with it when it's in my hand. Okay, so of course you still can't be very steady with a camera, you know, a phone camera. I can't. One thing I got going, yeah, this you got to take that floor out of there. Don, you're just fighting it. Okay. I don't remember. I'm always moving stuff around. Not always. I move it like after several months, and then I don't know what I've done with it. I got some 1/4-inch screws. In a bottle somewhere, I believe. It's either in my toolbox or up here on the desk. I used to have it right over there. Oh, I think that's weird. Ah! Okay. Yep. Wing nut. I think these are all going to be 1/4-20s. Yeah, this is stuff for, oh, it's a nut. I don't have a bolt, though. I need a bolt. Yeah, because that, see if I have one in my goodies over here. I don't know about having a 1/4-20. This is all for computers. I'm just going to look in what I got here. I may not be able to do this without. Without going out to the garage to get some stuff like that. Let's see what's in there. If there was just 1/4-20 screw or bolt, I would have it. There's another 1/4-20 wing nut. I think I'll put that in with the other one. Not really going to do me much good in here. Because I think of these as just being stuff for, what is that? I'll leave that washer. You can use a smaller one on that. Smaller bolt nut screw. Let's see. Yeah, no 1/4-20 in there. This is kind of a mix, you know, a mixed bag of computer stuff, and like that's a wire keeper that you nail into the wall. Just things that I didn't know what to do with at the time. There's a used. If you're careful about how you, don't get them tangled up in. You know what that is? Nope, it's not a paper clip. It's a key to open up a CD drive whenever it won't jump out. Made out of a paper clip. Okay, but it used to be a paper clip. But yeah, anyway, if you if you don't like strip the deals, you can reuse. Whoops. You got to get something really small and bend back the little grabber. You can reuse zip ties. Yeah, so all I got in there, see, this was kind of a mix. That's part of a mic stand and that's a couple of wing nuts. That's been sitting up in that journal area for years. I thought I'd moved it for a little bit there. I got a feeling I just don't have. Yeah, see, these are just lots of computer screws. I can't think of any place where I would have a 1/4-20 in there. Yeah, I was going to go ahead, get this, get it out of the bag. I can't get it. I don't know why I keep putting it back in there. Now I'll probably be sorry I took that other thing off of there now. Well, I mean, it's not going to be hard to go out there. I'm just not going to try to do it in the video. Now, yeah, I can put this phone in there, and but there I will need switch to this camera, and we'll see what I need. I can't see it from sitting here, but oh, okay, it's not what I thought. I thought there was a 1/4-20 hole in there. It's got that thing you slide stuff into. I have used it with just a piece of wood or something. I slid it in there and hold my one of my lapel mics, you know, when I didn't want to get all involved with mic setup and everything. Well, I left it on that single lapel mic. I left it on here for a while, and so that it would, if I wanted to grab the camera, you know, run and gun, as they like to say, I'd at least have half decent sound. Because the onboard, that's the one thing about this camera, the onboard mic, the onboard sound is terrible. I don't think the mic's any worse than these cheap lapels. It's the software. I can tell, because I said earlier I used to run sound for bands. I can tell that it's being, it sounds like it's being, forgot which camera to be on. It sounds like it's being squelched. If you've ever listened to a CB radio, I was going to say ham radio, but I read about them, but I've never actually seen one in person. No, I've never seen a ham radio in person, but I've read about them a lot and watched videos on them. But I still have a CB out in the garage, CB radio. I haven't turned it on, but it came with my van. It wasn't even installed really, it was just in there, up in this thing that held it, and I took it, and it wasn't wired up. It used to be my uncle's van. So anyway, but back in the 70s, early 80s, I had a couple of CBs, you know. But sounds more like squelching than anything, but squelching is very much similar to compression. And compression, if you overcompress, it will make a little whoosh noise. And noise gate will make that more than compression. Yeah, no, compression don't do that. Noise gate will make that little whoosh noise when it doesn't open up soon enough, and it cuts off your first part of your first word, or maybe your whole first word, depending on how tight it is. And that's, I've just learned to recognize those things, and I know I can just by hearing know what's wrong sometimes in an audio, you know, with the sound. But anyway, this little jobby here would have to have one of those it's a hot shoe mount, is what it is. Only it's not hot. There's no plug. You know, there's no. It's kind of odd that it does have that. You see that thing in the center there? I know it's kind of blurry, but I remember reading about it, and I've looked it over. I can't remember it too well now, but I think that's really just a rivet that holds that mount on there. I don't think it is. If you did have well, no. I believe that if I remember, my buddy, you know, ran Nikon cameras. He was a photographer, and they have two small copper or brass connectors that are flat, kind of flat like that, but they're about 1/4 of that diameter. And they have 2 of them. Yeah, I remember because the instructions on it, they said, called it a cold shoe. So it's just for mounting things, which is what that's all I need for what I was fixing to do. I was fixing to, fixing to put that other camera in there because this is the one I'm using. I was going to put it in there, and it's funny, it even has another one on top. It's got it down here and up here. But it's got threads in it. So, yeah, that wouldn't actually work. You might be able to file on it until it would fit in that hot shoe. No, you'd have to take too much off. Anyway, you need another adapter to go from here with the threads, like you would screw it on from the bottom, and then it would have to go into that cold shoe for you to be able to do that. But you could try like one of these kind of deals here. That's just a bolt with a big knob on it, 1/4 20. You could put it in there, but you'd have a heck of a time. Well, there's nothing to screw it into. I thought there was I knew better than that. I just forgot what happened. But yeah. So this is what, swap hands here. Yeah, see why I should always use a tripod? Okay, so this was what I was wanting to do, if you didn't catch on here. Oh, I've got it backwards. You'd have it like this. Why can't I hit the spot? And it's so black you can't even see it with all that black behind it. But yeah, that's what I was wanting to do. That's one of the things I had not really thought about doing that too much. I mean, it came across my mind a few times over the years, but that Marcus Pix guy, that's his YouTube channel name. His name is Marcus. He was showing all these different adapters you could buy to do just about anything you could dream up. For they're usually not but a couple of dollars to $4, depending on what they are. And so that got me thinking, because I'd actually wished I could do, well, yeah, I did. I had wished I could do that at times once I got this one, because like if you're doing a live stream, and if you have this one streaming over the Wi-Fi, that one's streaming over USB, if it locks up on you or anything, you're not dead in the water. You can just switch over an OBS to the other camera. And like I said, most of the time I like to have 2 different angles, so I don't have to do what I was just doing, moving that camera around and everything. And of course, I was experimenting on how, when I first started, how it pans and tilts. If you got something, that's good enough. If you can pan and tilt nicely and smoothly, then that's okay. But I can't stand watching videos where people are doing as bad as I was just doing, And so I try to avoid doing that. I just can't. I don't. My concentration. Watching this video, you can tell that my concentration is just kind of wonky these days. So I forget what I got, what hand's supposed to be doing what. If I got a camera in one hand and a screwdriver in the other, I'll probably take pictures with the screwdriver and untighten the screw with the. I can't even say it. That thing is sharp. I got a bunch of brand new zip ties. That one's been cut off and it's real sharp. So I don't want to get cut on that. Okay, so yeah, I would have to I'd probably just buy me an adapter. I had kept thinking I would make something, but what you could do is, it wouldn't be taking 30 minutes to an hour to make one out of aluminum. I have some enough pieces of aluminum I could make something. But my health isn't good, and I don't get to do very little of what I like to do anymore. But yeah, I could mount that mount would work for mounting my phones on there, even with the swelled battery. Now this one's not swelled near as much as that other one is. I don't think. Yeah, it's not. The see, it doesn't have such a big bulge in it like that other one. Kind of hard to tell, but and kind of hard to tell with that extra black hair tie thing. So anyway, that's something I'll probably try out and see how well I like it, because I have kind of gotten more into, especially now that that's a good tripod head, I've gotten more into just doing one most of the time. A lot of the, especially if I go outside or something, I just use this one camera, because there's such a difference between the two. You know, the resolutions of the two cameras. I'm looking at myself up there half the time. That's why I'm not looking at the camera. I always stare at the monitor. You know, I always worked in the background. You know, doing sound or running camera. Not used. I'm used to it, but I'm not used to paying attention to the camera. So anyway, there we go. That's my new tripod. I am glad I got it. I could tell that already. That little hook. All I think about there, I didn't really show it. Let's see if I can show it. Uh-oh, I think it went. Camera quit working. What did I do? Shut down. I wonder if I don't think I caused that. I think it shut itself down. So that's what happens when you stream for. See, I used to could always get three hours easy out of them before they started giving me trouble. 2 hours and 1 minute, but yeah, for some reason I might have hit the button. Maybe I shut it down. Didn't realize it. I was talking and stuff. I may have. It may be on the video. I might have just flat turned it off and forgot to shut down the app or anything, but it's just flat shut down. All I got is battery indicator. So I was just going to show that little hook, but you know, you can. Oh yeah, I did say I would go and show where I got it. So let's do that. I was forgetting something. And now it's 78 in here. Half the time somebody goes and turns the air conditioner up to 77, and that kills me. Actually, I did something today that I believe has helped. Well, it did cool. It rained and it cooled off, so it's kind of hard to tell, right? You know, for sure. There's my channel. I'm live. Let me get to Amazon. Anyway, it has not. I'm going off the reservation here. I shut the door to my closet. I usually leave it cracked because I didn't think it would get enough airflow, cool air coming in. You know, but that lets hot air come out over the top of the door. I knew that, but last month or 2 months, it's been getting so hot in here. I thought, man, I'm getting heat from that server. I have a dryer vent up in the ceiling going into the attic, and I have a fan just hanging on zip ties, a regular floor fan, about a 6-inch fan. I had bought a vent fan, and it ran for I got it all hooked up. I'll work my tail off. Got it all set up and hooked up, and it ran for 2 hours, and it started making noise and slowing down. So here is the blah blah blah. Here it's already gone up. They have a coupon for $3 off on there, but it starts at $44.99. But this is the one I bought, and you always have to go back to your thing to see what you actually paid. Where's the order details? I think the invoice is the one that tells me what I actually paid for it. Yeah, $33.99 was what I got it for. It might have been like that where you click the box and get a discount off of whatever the original price was, but that's what I got paid for it. And I thought, looking at after, you know, I've been watching videos, you know, here and there for the last
couple of years at least on them. And there's all the parts, you know, that you're supposed to get. And it had lots of sales, and pretty good overall ratings. See, 4.7 out of 5, 81% 5-star. You don't see that real often. And there's some videos right on Amazon here. But I had been watching some of Marcus's videos, and so I knew what kind of tripod I wanted by this time, you know. And of course, you just watch me get it out and use it and everything. And here's a picture of oh, now that's what that thing is meant for. I didn't think about that. You can. How are you? Okay, so you can't see a nut a bolt coming up through there. So oh, it's mounted to the other quick mount. Oh, okay. So you could do that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you can mount that to the other quick mount and then slide it in, and then you got your phone on there. See, it's versatile. Now that's one of different colors. You know how these. Shop Amazon, you know how you'll have different models, different colors. Sometimes it's a completely different thing. You got to really pay attention. You can't just go by the stars. You got to look at the pictures, 1-star reviews, and of course the 5-star reviews. How many it's got, and I always look at the first couple, the most recent ones, you know. But and that's how come I knew that. How come it rang a bell with me whenever I saw that quick mount was not really perfectly tight. That's another thing you could do. You could get some more of that. Does it have that on it? Yeah, it's got the rubbery stuff on it. I don't know why. You know, I'm sure it varies from camera to camera. Could be something about the bottom of that camera that it just can't get a hold of it good. But yeah, so that's one of the things. That's the way they probably intended that. When I saw that, first thing I went to is what I would want to do with it. But that, well, I guess it's just intended to be used however you can. But the camera mount, the phone mount, you could put it straight on the tripod, and see, you could go between, you know, 2 different cameras. But you know, if I'm using 2 cameras, they're going to both be on because I'm doing video, and I want, usually, like I said, 2 angles, you know, 2 different angles. But says it'll support 12 pounds, and of course my camera might be a pound, you know. I don't know about 12 pounds on that thing, on that head, you know. I guess it would. Says it'll go from 21 to 72, and you can get another 11 or 12 inches out of that monopod when you bring it up as far as you can inside of the tripod. I'm talking about it standing up, like you know, when you take it out. And anyway, there's the specs and stuff. Okay, so. I think I'm going to have to go ahead and eat. You know, it's getting late. It's almost midnight, and I've been going to bed at midnight to 1. I want to at least get, got this stuff all out. I want to at least get a picture of that tablet. So I may do a short one. Me doing a short video is usually impossible. I'm hungry enough that I need to hurry. If I'm going to do anything, I have to do it fast. Or I have to eat. Once I eat, I'm going to crash because I always do. I got diabetes. So. Once I eat, I'm going to be so sleepy. I don't know. Maybe I mean, it's out and ready. Oh, but the USB is not working, and that's what I need for that. Okay, so that's beside the point. So I'm going to go and... hopefully this was helpful. I'm sure nobody's going to watch the whole thing, but you can skip through, you know. Well, I tried to put the most pertinent stuff at the beginning. And So I'm glad I got this. Hopefully it's not gonna, nothing's gonna break. I mean, you could break it if you accidentally stepped on it, or something on one of the legs. You might break them or something. But all I can think of, and of course it could. Well, I would not use this, with the legs folded up halfway or 3/4 of the way. Really looks like. I wouldn't use it like this anywhere but like right here. There's a desk on that side, a keyboard tray on that side. The only way it can come is towards me, and if it comes towards me and I'm sitting here, then, or if I'm trying to get up and I turn it over or something, then I should be able to catch it before it hits anything. Plus, this is my chair. It's pretty well soft. But yeah, I wouldn't use the legs close together, even with this little old camera. I mean, it was only $109, but that was my $109, and I don't want to lose it. It's doing what I need it to do, and it's a very versatile little camera. You can do a lot. You can record on its own. You can record over USB. If I had something to record HDMI, it has an HDMI out, which would be higher quality than this. This, by the way, is not, when you're over the USB, it is not in 4K mode. The most, what is it? I can't remember. Let's see if I can look at it without jacking things up. 1280 by 720 at 30 frames per second. That's the most you can get out of it over USB. And it makes sense because it only does, 400, absolute maximum, 450 megabits over USB 2.0. I don't know if I had an actual USB. I might one day buy me a 3.0 card. I got room to put PCI cards in that server. Might buy me one day. Haven't really needed it. I don't have any 3.0 devices, but I went ahead and bought that 3.0 hub because it was about the same price as 2.0 hubs, and it, helped me work for me in the future. So yeah, but I mean, I would need a video input card to get HDMI in. I don't think I would trust a USB kind for that kind of thing. I think you'd really want a PCI card. That'd be expensive. They're not all that expensive to get, a USB. But I've got 2 USB sound cards that I bought years ago. I bought them for $2 each. They work fine, but they give problems sometimes. USB just gives problems. It may work for hours on end, or it may quit. Right, just quit. Like the camera, the Endoscope camera quit. It does that a lot anymore. It didn't used to do it so much. Of course, I wasn't using a different computer, but I was still running. I'm running Fedora Linux. I'm not running Windows or any of that. I haven't since 2005. Hardly ever used Windows for anything. I don't have anything that'll even run that has Windows on it right now. Got a laptop that has Windows XP on it, but I have Debian Linux set up to be a server, and that's my web server for my website. I had figured I still don't know for sure what I'm going to do. If I do set it up on my actual server that's in the closet, that's why I keep pointing behind me, I would have to run it 24/7. Of course, it does use more power than that. It's actually not bad. You might think a server is, going to be too much power hungry, but it generally it runs at 200 watts until you work it. The most I've ever seen out of it is spikes of 400 watts. You can. That's all in the ILO. That's what it's called. You can look at all of its information, in there. But anyway, you do it remotely with ILO, but and it's just kind of a website you look at. It is a website you look at, but it's on that server just for ILO. I forget what ILO stands for, but anyway, HP they use ILO, but this one was made in 2011, so I got it for $300. Yeah, I think it was right at $300. Can't beat that. So, and now I've got a playlist with a whole bunch of videos on it if you're interested in that. It's on my channel. HPDL 380G7. Look that up on there, and look for the playlists, and then you can pick and choose what you want to watch out of it. Okay. That This does work. I can do it like this. I may leave it here tonight just to not have to mess around with it anymore tonight. Haven't kicked it or done anything so far, and I've been up and down a few times. So it's better than I thought. At first I thought, well, I'm not going to be able to leave it sitting there. So anyway, okay, I'm going to go. I could keep rambling forever. All right, bye-bye.